Welcome to the Be Mindful podcast. I am your host, women's mindset and manifestation coach, Rachelle Rosal Torrio. If you are interested in manifestation, personal development, or spirituality, you have came to the right place. This podcast was created with the intention to help you become mindfully aware of how you think, what you speak, and what you believe, because who you are from within is what you will attract from the out. Let's begin. Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Be Mindful podcast. On today's episode, we are going to talk about micro passions. I'm going to tell you what that is. We're going to go over how you can make time for your micro passions and the benefits. That is exactly why I wanted to talk about this today, because micro passions have a big impact with our overall well-being. It can benefit your health long term, and it just brings more joy and fulfillment in our life. So let's get right into it. What are micro passions? Micro passions are small but specific interests or hobbies that you enjoy. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is because as we get older, we get busier, we have more responsibilities, and sometimes we forget to set time for ourselves to focus on our micro passions, things that we genuinely enjoy. And the reason why is because we think we don't have enough time, but really we do. Now, I am definitely not a mom yet, and I know being a mom is really difficult with balancing your personal life with your family, with your kids, and just making sure that you have time for everything. I know that's a struggle. But if you are a mom listening to this and you're immediately thinking you don't have time for yourself, how do you expect to show up fully for your family and show up fully for yourself if you're not taking care of yourself? I have a few friends who are currently moms, and I see them making it work. I don't know how they do it. I see them as bionic women. I see them as superwomen because I know being a parent is difficult. So if you don't think you have time, I want you to let go of that belief. And I hope this episode inspires you and motivates you to have self-care time and just make sure that you are still doing the things that you enjoy. Because when you're happier and you're feeling fulfilled and your cup is fueled, then you can perform at your best and you can show up for others in the best way possible. So I want to go over a few ways how micro passions can benefit our health and how they can benefit our happiness. But before we go over the benefits, you're probably wondering, okay, I don't know what my macro passions are. How can I start? How can I make time for that? So I'm going to give you a few tips and then we'll talk about the benefits. So if you're asking yourself right now, what are my micro passions? And you're trying to brainstorm, the first question to ask yourself is, what are activities that you enjoy? And what do you wish you could do more often? Just from asking yourself that question, you will have your immediate answer. And it's okay if there's more than one thing. Write everything down just so you could physically see what it is that you want to make time for. Now, after you write your list, I want you to write down next to it, how often do you want to do this activity? And after you write down how often you want to do it, I want you to write down realistically how often you can do it. I personally feel like there's so many things I want to do, and it's not physically possible to do it all in one day or to do it every single week. So giving ourselves grace and understanding, okay, this is what I want to do, but what can I actually do? So I don't feel burnt out and I make sure that I am setting time for me. That way, when you break it down, you can see which activities you really do have time for based on your personal schedule. This is where time blocking comes in, being very intentional with your time and making sure that you set that appointment for yourself. So for example, let's say you have a doctor's appointment and it's essential that you go to this doctor appointment. You would not miss it. And because you won't miss that appointment, I want you to look at these activities as mini appointments with yourself that you will not move or cancel just because you feel like you need to get something else done. I saw a video on Instagram recently where the husband came home. He saw that the house was kind of a mess, but he saw his wife working out, and it created so much joy for him because he saw that his wife was choosing to taking the time to be there for herself and work on her health, even though there was a mess in the house. Because no matter what, every time you do something for yourself, you feel so much better because you took that time for yourself. Just like you make time for work or projects that are super important to you, make time for self-love, self-care. It is so essential for our health, and it allows us to stress less. So here's where we're going to go into the benefits and why you should start actively adding micro passions every day, every week, as much as possible. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. So if you set time for your micro passions, and let's say something comes up, like if you're a mom, something happens with your kid and you have to be there to assist them, work around it. See how you can pivot it so that you still follow through and show up for yourself for that appointment that same day. Just let go of it coming out perfectly and controlling the entire situation. Just do the best that you can. And if you have a partner, communicate with them. Tell them, like, hey, this is something I really enjoy and I want to make more time for it. Like, how can we make this work? These are 5 reasons why micro passions will benefit you and your long-term health. 1, you'll stress less. One thing I really struggled with when it came to setting time for micro passions or just setting time for myself, I would find my mind racing and thinking about all of the things I need to do. So you actively making time for this is going to teach you how to be present in that moment. So every time you set time for micro passions, focus only on that. And as you do this more often, you're going to find yourself in a more relaxed state every single time because you're training your mind to be focused on that one thing. That's you practicing mindfulness. Another benefit to having micro passions is that it can increase your creativity. And I've definitely seen this. Every time I get into a phase of burnout, I end up feeling like I can't create because I'm so stuck and my mind is feeling so overstimulated. And that's literally all of us. I mean, think about it. There's a TV that's on, there's a computer, there's your phone, there's your iPad. We have all of these things that are stimulating us, and it can create a lot of an anxiety because it's overwhelming. There's so much happening. And so practicing mindfulness, being present, is going to help you when you make time for these micro passions because you're being present in that moment. And I have proven to myself over and over again that when I do make time for these things and I make time for myself, I am so much more creative and I feel like I'm in a flow. And it makes life so much more fun and just enjoyable because I'm making time for it. Another benefit to micro passions is also you are learning and you are growing. It allows for continuous learning and continuous growth. And because of that, it boosts our self-confidence. It's in a way like a sense of achievement, and there's specific neurotransmitters in your mind that release dopamine, for example. Every single time you check something off or you accomplish anything, your dopamine increases. So if you don't know what dopamine is a hormone in your body that is released every time you get excited about something, like you accomplish something. They like to name it the feel-good hormone. It gives you this sense of pleasure, and that's what micro passions can do for you. So according to Summit Malibu, they say that dopamine naturally through healthy activities, aka micro passions, reinforces and motivates positive lifestyle choices that continue to produce the feel-good chemical. Another benefit is your time management. You learn how to be present in the moment. I know we talked about this already, but this actually can teach you to have a really well work-life balance. That is what we all strive for. We obviously want to hustle, we want to work hard, we want to make our bank, but we also want time for ourselves to chill, to relax, and just really be less stressed. Managing our time can sound like it's so easy, but when we try to break it down, it can be a little overwhelming, especially when you have so much to do. So this is something that I actually work with my clients. We dive deep into time blocking, but I teach them in a way where they can strategically be very intentional with their time. There's no time to waste here. life is so short, so why not put our energy into things we enjoy and we love? So if you are someone that is currently having this anxiety and you are struggling with the structure of your work-life balance, book a call with me. Let's get into this, let's work on it, and let's create a daily lifestyle where you don't feel as stressed anymore because you know you can make time for yourself. So check the show notes and book a call with me if you're interested. Overall, micro passions contribute to a fulfilling and well-rounded life and just add so much more meaning and happiness to our daily existence. This is another reminder to just take care of yourself. Life is so short, and every day I've been doing my best to just be so present and be grateful, and it's given me so much more joy in my life. I feel like I am the happiest I've ever been because, again, I've been very intentional where my energy is going. The time I'm using really matters to me because you can't get those moments back. So cherish all the moments you have. Be present in the moment. Count your blessings and make time for yourself. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe, share it with your friends, send me a message if you have any requests. And as always, don't forget, be mindful because who you are from within will only attract from the out. See you in the next episode. Bye.